Hello, everybody. Good evening. Hello from Halifax, Nova Scotia, Canada. My name is Ashley Jane. A lot of people call me AJ, and I'm here to talk to you today about Mount St. Vincent University, which is located in Halifax. On the right of your screen, you can see that you can ask me some questions. So I am going to give you a very quick 20 to 30 minute presentation with information, admissions information, location about Mount St. Vincent University. And then throughout my presentation, if you have any questions, just fill it in the chat on your right, and then I will get to your questions after I finish my presentation. Okay, so let's get started. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to share my screen so you can see some photos and the information that I will be talking about. So just give me 1 second while I do that. Okay, I hope everyone can see my screen now. So welcome. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. I know it's about 8 p.m. in Turkey. So thank you so much for spending your evening with me today. I'm going to be talking to you about my university, Mount St. Vincent University. And like I said earlier, my name is Ashley Jane. You can call me AJ. And I also graduated from Mount St. Vincent University, and I'll be telling you a little bit about my experiences as well. But before I keep talking, here's a quick video to show you the beauty of MSVU. All right, so that was just a quick video overview of the campus. You can see that there are a lot of main buildings. We actually have about 6 of them used for residences, academia, student services and support, the library, etc. And we are located right next to the Bedford Basin. You probably saw a lot of water. And so the Mount St. Vincent University campus is located right off of the Halifax Harbor, which is actually the second deepest harbor next to Sydney Harbor in Australia. So we are an oceanside university. All right, so Mount St. Vincent University is a mostly undergraduate university offering 40 different types of majors. We have about 4,000 students from 77 different countries, and I can talk about that a little bit later on. And because of the smaller size of our population, on average, first year classes are about 23 students per class. So it offers a really personal, highly tailored learning experience for all of our undergraduate and master's students as well. We also do really amazing cutting edge research at the undergraduate level. Most universities can only offer this opportunity to master's students, but we are able to offer that to our undergraduate students in the sciences. We are getting lots of financial support from the government to do things in nutrition and Alzheimer's research, as well as some fish biology because we are by the ocean. And we're also able to offer work experiences in all of our bachelor's degree programs. Okay, so where is Halifax? So a little bit of information. Halifax is the capital city of the province of Nova Scotia on the eastern seaboard of Canada. So you can see on the map, we are here. So Halifax is on a peninsula right on the Atlantic Ocean. If you were to fly to Toronto, it will take you 2 hours. If you were to fly to New York, it will take you about 2 to 1.5 hours. If you were to cross the Atlantic Ocean and go to London, UK, it will be about 6 to 7 hours. So that's where we are. If you wanted to fly to the West Coast on the Pacific Ocean to Vancouver, that is also 6.5 to 7 hours. So we are as far away from Vancouver as we are to, Europe. So that's our location. And just a little bit more information, there is about 500,000 people that live in this city. It is an oceanside city. So, and because of the smaller population, it's also regarded as one of the safest cities in Canada. We have been listed as one of the top 7 fastest growing cities of Canada. So right now, Halifax is booming. There are lots of newcomers that do come either through immigration or throughout Canada as well, seeking opportunity. We're also known as Canada's smart city because within 10 minutes drive of Mount St. Vincent University, there are 5 other universities as well. So it is a university town. So it is considered one of, per capita, one of Canada's smart cities. Okay, so life on the hill. And I like to say the hill because Mount St. Vincent University is located on a hill, hence the name Mount. We are a 7-minute drive to the center of the city. Or if you take public transportation, it will be about 20 minutes by public bus. We are located all in one campus, so we are not separated. Everything is in one area on 40 acres of space, and it is a connected campus. So that's really great, especially for our students who don't come from cold countries. Maybe they live in warmer climates. And so with the connected campus, they can go from their residence to dining hall for breakfast and then to their classes all inside. And of course, we are very proud of the support that we can provide our students. I told you earlier, our student population is only at 4,000 strong. So, we know most of our students and we're able to help tailor the support, whether it's cultural or academic, or just trying to adapt to their new lifestyle here in Canada or even in Halifax. We're able to provide very, very in-depth support to all of our students. Okay, I'm just going to go through really quickly some highlights about our residences. We have 3 main types of residences. You can see them on the right, the green buildings, and then that tall brown building, and then the apartment building, which is green and gray. So basically what you need to know about our residences is that there are no sharing rooms. So all of our rooms are single rooms. So everyone gets their own personal space. And they don't have to worry about sharing a bunk bed or sharing a room with other students. And of course, we have 24 hours security, so it's really safe. And it comes with an all you care to eat meal plan. And what that just really means is just that students can go to the dining hall from Monday to Sunday at any time and just eat as little or as much as they want. So those are some highlights of our residences. I really feel that it's important that students know that, they don't have to share and they can have their own safe space to get away if they don't want to be social or they don't want to be in the library. So they have their own space. Okay, we're also really, our our varsity teams are really awesome. We have 7 altogether. So if you have any students or any of you out there who are a superstar in basketball, soccer, or what people will call football, men's and women's, and then volleyball women's, and then cross country, long distance, men's and women's as well. So if you know anybody, or if you feel like you can contribute to our team or want to be part of a really awesome sports league, just send me an email. The admissions and application process will be a little bit different. And so, we will help personalize that process for you. Okay, so what is the international community like at Mount St. Vincent University? About 18% of our student population is from another country other than Canada. And I've listed there for you some of our top countries, but that is not exclusive. Of course, we are, like I said earlier, we have representation from 77 different countries, including Turkey. And so, our top student populations will be coming from the Caribbean, Asian countries like India and China, West African countries such as Nigeria and Ghana, and then of course Bermuda as well. So, and then we have students also who come to us from the States, and then from several different countries in Southeast Asia, such as, the Philippines and Thailand, to name a few. So we do have a really diverse population of students, not just Canadians, at Mount St. Vincent University. And it lends itself to a really amazing learning experience in the classroom. So not only Canadian students get to learn from people of diverse backgrounds, but international students coming into their host country of Canada get to learn as well from their Canadian colleagues about what it's like to really live here and what it's like to thrive here. So I really pride ourselves in the diversity of students that we have in the university. Okay, so let's talk about programs. So at the undergraduate level, there are basically 3 main categories of majors. So we can see within the Bachelor of Arts on the left, those are the listings of our majors. And then in the middle, the Bachelor of Sciences, we only have main science fields. So for example, biology, chemistry, mathematics. We don't have, I know some students like to look for things like engineering or computer sciences. Unfortunately, we don't have those programs, but we do offer general, really amazing general science programs. And then on the far right is our category of professional studies. And this is where I find most of our international students will gravitate to. And I think it's because professional studies offers some sort of mandatory work, internship, or cooperative education experience. And if you're not familiar with co-op, it basically is a Canadian term for a paid work internship. So, and in professional studies is also where we house some of our very highly specialized programs that don't really exist anywhere in Atlantic Canada. So for example, our Bachelor of Child and Youth Study. This is the only 4-year bachelor degree program that you will find in our area of Canada. So anything between from Quebec onwards, you won't be able to find a 4-year degree in this field. And if you have any students, or if you're a student that wants to work with younger children, you want to open up your own daycare, perhaps you want to be a teacher, or you want to work with underprivileged youth and policy and work in that industry, we're the only degree that is able to grant you that access level to work at a higher level. So a lot of students who possess diplomas in early childhood education and look to further in their career will go into a child and youth study program. And then of course, business administration. I don't really need to explain much. Everybody knows business. But what I think makes us a little bit different is the fact that our classes are small, and so our professors know who our students are. And so there is also a co-op work term option that is available to students if they want experience in whether it's banking and finance or whether it's in accounting. So you can see on the list that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 different majors that a student can choose from to go into as part of their business administration degree. One of the specialized ones are nonprofit leadership. We're probably one of the only universities in Atlantic Canada that offers this major. It's for students who want to work in organizations that are not-for-profit, so foundations and charity organizations that are looking for ways to involve their publics and ways to gain donations and money, but not for a profit. So how do we do that? And so we actually teach students what are the strategic ways to work in this type of field. And then we have public relations. I am a graduate of the PR degree as well, and Mount St. Vincent University is the first university in Canada to establish a professional degree in this area. And then up until 2000 and probably 10 or 12, another university in Alberta was able to get a public relations degree as well. So there are 2 universities in Canada that have this degree, but we are proud to be the first. And we're also proud because we were also really innovative in establishing this degree because it comes with, or students have to take a mandatory co-op as part of the completion of this degree. So all of us in the PR program, we had to go through at least 4 years of study and then another year of paid work internship. So I had to do 3. So I was involved in doing university courses and then doing work terms as well. And that experience was invaluable because when I graduated, I was able to not only know where to gain employment, but I knew how to go about doing that, because there are some students who might not have had that opportunity to write resumes or be interviewed. So that was an invaluable experience. And then, of course, we have applied human nutrition. So for nutrition, this is really special as well. There are only 16 universities in Canada who have been designated by Dietitians of Canada to educate dietitians. So a student who wishes to become registered as a dietitian here in Canada have to go to one of 16 universities and then complete their undergraduate degree with an internship option to be able to actually sit for an exam. And this examination plus your education and internship determines whether you get your license to work in Canada. So this is a highly competitive program. And then tourism and hospitality management, another first in Canada. We were also the first to establish a co-op option as well. And now it is mandatory, of course. So all of our tourism and hospitality management students must complete paid co-op work terms as part of their degree, just like the public relations degree. And I'm proud to say as well that about 85 to 90% of our students are able to gain employment 3 to 6 months after they graduate. So highly sought after industry here in Halifax. We thrive off of tourism, usually in the summertime. And so there is always positions available within this industry. So that is just a really quick overview of professional studies. But if you have any questions regarding the other majors that I didn't cover, please let me know in the questions and I'll answer them after this presentation. So moving on to our master's degree programs. Okay, so do you see on the left, the Bachelor of Education? So I know the name Bachelor, it kind of sounds like it's an undergraduate degree. It's actually not. It's actually at the master's degree level. So no students can go into the Bachelor of Education right from high school. They must complete a 4-year undergraduate degree first before they can take this 2-year program. So in Canada, that's just how it works. You need to have 6 years altogether of education, a 4-year undergraduate degree, and then your 2 years, and then you can get your license to teach in a public school in Canada. So that's why the Bachelor of Education is in this category. And then we have our master's degree programs. We don't have that many. We have about 7, as you can see on my presentation. And of course, the 7 are in the specialities that I already told you about earlier in the undergraduate slide. So nutrition, child and youth, communications and public relations, family studies, women and gender studies. And we offer 7 different majors in the Master's of Education. And that is actually a reflection. So education and women's studies is actually a reflection of Mount St. Vincent University's history. We were established in 1873, so many, many years ago, but we were the first university in the entire British Commonwealth, not only just Canada, to admit women to a school of higher learning at a time where women were not allowed to go to university. So we try our best to continue in our traditions and our history. And to this day, that's one of our values. We want to ensure and to advance the status of women in Canada. And so, we do a lot of research and policy around that subject. Okay, moving on. So at this section of my presentation, I'm only going to give you a very general overview. I'm going to cover 3 different types of students. The first being a student that has just finished high school or is currently in high school. What are we looking for? And then I'm going to cover transfer students. So a transfer student is somebody who is in college or who has finished university, okay? And then I'm going to talk very generally about master's students admissions. So let's go to high school. It's really simple. For Mount St. Vincent University, for admission, we only need to look at 5 of their highest scoring grade 12 subjects. And this 5 must average to a minimum of about 70%. Okay. Of course, some of our programs require the students to have completed mathematics or chemistry, but we can talk about that a little bit later. I don't want to get into too much specifics right now. I just wanted to give you a general overview. So 5 grade 12 academic courses with a minimum overall average of 70% is what we require from our high school students. And then for our university or college students, whether they have finished or not, we require a minimum overall average GPA of about 2.0. And what that means is really just a 70% average as well. So overall, whether they've only been in college for 1 year or whether they've been in university for 3 or 4 years, we are looking for a minimum of 70% or a GPA of 2.0. Now, some of these transfer students, they're looking for assessments, credit transfers. Can you transfer credits from my home university? The answer is yes, but it must be a public university or college. But if it's not public and it's private, that's okay, as long as it is accredited and recognized by the Ministry of Education in that home country, wherever that country is. So it's really simple. The student applies and then they give us their transcripts from college and university, and then they also submit course descriptions or course outlines so we can assess what they've studied also meets what our learning objectives are. So if it matches, then we will transfer it over. So some students can come in with 2 full years of transfer credits. And then lastly, our master's students, this one is a little bit difficult because all of our master's programs, including the different majors within education, they all have different admission requirements. And so we are generally looking for an overall average of a GPA 3.0. That's equivalent to about 80%, but every program has different deadlines, different admission requirements, perhaps even a different application. And so if you know which program you're interested in learning about, I can send that directly to your email after this. Okay, very quickly, language requirements. So for language requirements, generally IELTS 6.5 For certificates, diplomas, or bachelor's. And then in our master's, we require an IELTS 7. If you don't fulfill any of those IELTS requirements, that's okay. We have some language programs that you can take with us before you can begin your courses with us full time. Okay, very quickly, I'm going to talk about our scholarships and financial aid options. So Mount St. Vincent University is one of those universities that really prides itself in enabling students to apply for lots of different financial supports. And so I'm going to cover some of our more popular scholarships here today. And then if you want more details about, some other scholarships, I have a whole list of other scholarships as well. So for these most popular scholarships on the left that you can see, this is only for high school students, so secondary school graduates. If a student is admitted and they have an average of 80% or higher, they are guaranteed a scholarship. The student must apply to the university. There is no separate scholarship application. They must apply to the university by March 1st of every year. And their entry must be in September. So they must apply by March 1st for entry in September. And the range can be between $2,800 to about $32,000. And this is divided into 4 years of their bachelor's degree. So, at the 80%, the student will get $700 per year for 4 years. And at 100%, they will get $8,000 per year for 4 years. So there is a range. The higher the student's average, the more renewable scholarship money they can get. And then we're also really proud to offer a full president scholarship. So this student is a superstar and, they're really bright, but they're also very involved. They show leadership and they show potential. And so we offer these students, and we have about 6 to 10 of these scholarships every year. And it is 100% fully paid. And then for those students, perhaps maybe their scores weren't so high, but it meets the 80% average and above, but they can show that they are extremely involved and they show a lot of leadership and community involvement and school involvement. They could get a free room in our residences for their first year. So they don't have to pay for their residence if they get the leadership award. And then what about the students that are not in high school? What about students that are more mature? What about students that are transferring? We are also make available in-class or in-course scholarships. And this is for any student that have achieved really high grades, so about a 3.3 and above after their first year of enrollment at MSVU. They're automatically given a sum of money. So they don't even have to apply. It's just as long as they can, their total average is higher than a 3.3, they can get some in-class scholarships. We also offer bursaries, and bursaries are based on need. And students can apply for this every year as well. So there is an application process, and we usually send out the communication about our bursaries every semester to our students before the semester begins. And the student could get, $100 all the way up to $2,000 per year, depending on their needs. Right now, actually, we are launching for our students currently due to the global pandemic of COVID-19. Our president has seen that there is a need, especially in our students. There's no classes right now, of course. And of course, their part-time jobs have been taken away from them. So our president was able to launch a student relief fund this week. And so we're seeing lots of students apply because they have a loss of their financial income right now, and everyone's going through a difficult time. So we're doing everything that we can for our students just to ensure that they can stay afloat, but also be able to ensure that they can still continue their classes with us online or in person in September. Okay, so let's continue the money talk. We were talking about scholarships. So how much does all of this experience cost? So we're proud to say that we offer one of the most affordable and lowest tuition fees in Nova Scotia. And what you see on your screen are in Canadian dollars. And that is what an international student would pay for 1 year. So if you are a history or a business student, you will be paying about $15,863 per year. Or if you're a science student, you'll be paying about, you're doing a Bachelor of Science in Biology, you'll be paying about $16,257 per year for your tuition alone. If you're a master's student, $17,870, that is the full master's degree tuition. Adding on residences, the number that you can see there, of course, there is a range depending on the size of your room and which rooms you want. That's the range, and the meal plan is included. All of our international students also have to pay for mandatory health insurance, as we all know. And then in our tuition and other fees, we also include a UPass fee. The UPass is really convenient for our students, and this is a Halifax-wide, all the universities take part in this program. Students only pay $168, I believe, per year to be able to use the public transport system for the whole academic year. So for a person like myself, I'm working. If I wish to take public transportation, I need to buy a pass. Let's say I need to go on the bus every day to go to work. For an adult fee, I would pay about $75 per month to use the public transportation here. So the pass for students is very, very affordable. And then last but not least, one of the cool sort of programs that we offer, we have a sibling discount. And here's the reason why. This is how it works. So if a student is entering university for the first time, and they're going through their first year, and then in their second year, they have their sister or their brother join them, and it is also their first degree. The first sibling only needs to pay the 100% tuition fees that is outlined above, but the second sibling will pay only half. So the reason why we do this is because we don't want to financially burden one family just so that their children can have a university education. So we've had lots of siblings and twins and brothers and sisters in the past who have come through our doors because of the sibling discount program. And this only applies to undergraduate degree, and it only applies to undergraduate degree that is the first degree. So it cannot be a second degree, it cannot be a master's degree. So we have a really cool sibling discount program as well. So for an undergraduate degree, it's very simply, how do you apply? There are only three main steps. You apply online, you pay a $40 undergraduate application fee, and then you submit your documents to me. So it's pretty simple. If you have any more questions about, the extra application processes that happens, please send me an email as well, and then I can let you know how that works. So especially for a transfer student or just to repeat, the master students applications are not listed on my slides. It's a little bit more complicated. There are a lot more papers and documents that you will have to submit, and the admission requirements are a little bit different. So if you are a master student or if you have a question for a master student, just type me a text in the chat and then I can answer your questions. And then last but not least, how to contact me. This is my information. As we are all working from home globally, this would be the easiest way to get in touch with me is by my email. And if you would like to see a little bit more of Mount St. Vincent University, we are launching Instagram live stories and Q&A sessions every week on Instagram. So you can join us there to check it out. Or you want a virtual tour of our campus, you can go on YouTube or Facebook. And if you have any questions as well about just generally, you can email questions at msvu.ca. So just take a moment to take down my contact information. I am easily available by email. Okay, And that is the conclusion. And we've come to the end of my presentation. I know that there was a lot of information. I do apologize if I talk too fast, but I'm hoping that you got gained a lot of insight into this wonderful university. So I'm just going to end my screen share and come back to you.
Ashley, there are some questions on the questions tab you might want to check out.
Sure, thank you. Okay, on to the questions tab. Okay, first question from Nizam. Okay, before I talk questions, I'm so sorry if I pronounce your name incorrectly, I really do apologize. But I promise I will try and learn how to pronounce the names properly. So first question I can see here, or actually, you know what? I'm going to go all the way down to the first question that was sent by Lael 22 minutes ago. It says to me, do you have sports scholarships? Sorry about that. Okay, Lael asks, do you have any sports scholarships? Yes, we do. And the sports scholarships is not a fully funded scholarship, but it is, we pay for some of your, for example, your residence or your tuition. So yes, we do have that available. And if you have a specific sport that you're interested in, just let me know. And then I can connect you with the coach of that team. Okay, second question is from Mustafa. Mustafa says, will my diploma from MSBU be legal in Turkey? This is important for me. Yes, and it is important for everyone. Yes, absolutely. MSBU is a public university, and a public university in Canada is accredited by the government. And so public also means that we are financially funded by the government. And every year, to be able to receive funding from our partners in the government, we have to pass certain quality checks. So yes, we have had students in the past from Turkey who have had degrees and diplomas from Mount St. Vincent University, and they are definitely recognized internationally. Thank you, Mustafa, for your question. Okay, moving on to the third question. Sent in 22 minutes ago by, I'm so sorry, Bulent. It says, can you please tell us a little bit about the visa process? Okay, so I am not a certified immigration consultant, so I don't know all of the specific details. But what I know is if you are successful in gaining admission to a university in Canada, you would use that admission letter plus all of the other requirements required by the Canadian government to then apply for your study permit. And in some countries that can take, 4 weeks, and in some countries it could take 3 months. So we always encourage our students to apply for a study permit 6 months before they arrive, so you can have a lot of time to prepare. I hope that answers your questions. Okay, the next question also comes from Leo. She or he asks, any art programs for masters? If you mean art by fine arts, the creative arts, for example, design or fashion or graphics or any type of art history, unfortunately, we do not. We do only have master's programs with research opportunities in nutrition, child and youth, public relations, communications, and women's studies, and masters of education. Okay, another question coming in from Leo. What about double degree programs? So yes, if you wish, you can definitely double major. So you can gain a Bachelor of Arts with a double major in economics and history, or you could do a Bachelor of Science in mathematics and another major in communication. So there's lots of opportunity for you to mix and match. It will take you longer to finish your degree. So it will not be 4 years, it might be 5. So if you want a double degree, then yes, it will take it is possible, but it will take you much longer to finish the program. Okay, Fatih asks, do you have any medicine programs? I mean biomedical. Okay, so in Canada, how it works, if you were to go to medical school, there's only 1 or 2 medical schools designated into each province. So in this province of Nova Scotia, there's only 1. And in most provinces, there are only 1. In bigger areas of Canada, such as British Columbia or Ontario, there might be 2 or 3. And so because the medical programs are so limited, most students would have to first graduate from a bachelor's degree. And then as part of the medical program, you will also have to show high involvement in volunteering and extracurriculars outside of your bachelor's degree, and also complete a test. And so I believe it's called the MCATs, if I'm not mistaken. And so usually the criteria for getting into medical school in Canada is quite competitive. And so most of our international students actually study at a bachelor's degree level here in Canada first, and then move to the US or into the Caribbean or to other countries to finish their medicine program. I hope that answers your question. Okay, and then have I answered all the questions? Okay. Okay, Nizam asks, if a student gets medical insurance in Canada, does this insurance include COVID-19? So this is a very tricky question, right? So our medical insurance for international students are for emergencies. So before COVID-19, before this whole global pandemic, it covers emergencies. So let's say you fall down the stairs and you break your leg. In Canada, Canadians pay a lot of taxes, and so healthcare is subsidized or is free for most Canadians. And because you as an international student do not pay taxes to Canada, they will, if you have to go to the hospital or you have to get medicine or drugs, or you have to go to see the doctor and the clinic, it will be charged to you because you're not Canadian. And so what happens is that the medical insurance that we mandate protects you from all of that. So if you break your leg and the ambulance has to come in and take you to the hospital, if you don't have medical insurance, they will charge you for that. And then also, if we need to fly your parents over to come and take care of you or to support you, the medical insurance will cover that. Right now, I think during COVID-19, I don't think it will cover this. I know that in terms of insurance, even for myself, I live in Canada. I am a resident here of Canada. I know that some of my insurance does not cover this current global pandemic. So I do not think that it would be. But you know, by the time that you decide that you want to come to the university and you want to travel to Canada, all this will be hopefully over. So I hope that answers your question, Nizam. Okay, we have, hello. We have some chats. Okay. Does anybody else have any more questions for me? Anything that you learned in the presentation that you would like me to clarify for you? Okay, so I just wanted to say thank you so much. Thank you so much for spending your evening with me. I'm sure you probably have other things that you'd like to do. So I really appreciate the time that you have spent with me today. You have taken down my contact information. I hope you have. I'd love to stay in touch with you. So please connect with me by email if you have any questions along the way or tomorrow.
Thank you very much, Ashley.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, everybody. Bye.